What's going on, you guys? So, things are gonna change a little bit. It's been a while, like 3 years. And I don't know if you know this, but I've gone insane. And quarantine being a whole thing, that's... We are here to talk about 3D printing. And to start, there's a lot you gotta know. You see, we'll wait on that. It might be dead, I don't know. Okay, so most people think, okay, I'll just buy a printer, and we'll just start printing. No. There's a lot more to it, and I gotta tell you, it is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, and it sucks. I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. It's so tedious, but there's just something about it that's just so gratifying. Anyway, here's where we start. We go in right here, and we type in the password that people can't see. Anyway, so to start, you get your 3D printing software. Now, people make this look really easy. They think so, okay, we'll just get into it. Anyway, so you get your design, and there you go. And then from there, this is going to be a very quick thing also. So from there, you design it, you do whatever you kind of just have to get in and learn how to design things in order to design things. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to save as, and then I'm going to save it to a file. And you take that file to a slicer. Now, a slicer, let me explain how this works, or what it does. So, a slicer, okay, give me a minute. So the way it all works is you design it in a designing program, and then you have to take that design, save it to your computer file, and then from there you take it to a slicer, and the slicer gives it a G-code, and a G-code is what the printer reads in order for it to register and for it to print whatever you've designed. And right now I am at this point. So I've got my thing, and the settings are an absolute headache, especially if you've got it on advanced, which I think I do. No, I have it on all. So yeah, I've surpassed the basic, advanced, expert, and I've gone to all. So now I'm getting everything that's, you could possibly want, and it's just, oh, it's so terrible. The most important things are the cooling, that's the fan. I might do more videos on this just explaining everything, but this is just me rambling on in a state of psychosis. But you take that, and yeah, I forgot, you gotta get the thing. Okay. So first you take your chip, and it comes with a little micro SD chip. You put that into I can't speak. You take that chip, and you just slide it in. You put it in the laptop, and then you're gonna get a little thing. It's like, hey, do you want to do this? And yes, we do want to do this. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna exit this out, and then we're going to, after you've got it finished, you've got all of your sizing, your placement, all of that finished, then you save to removable drive. And after it's saved, you eject. And now comes the part that you would think is the easiest, but Jesus. So this part seems like it would be the easiest. You just plug it in, no problem, you start printing. So you take the Jesus. The first time I tried to record a video in 3 years, and this is how it goes. Okay, so you get your micro SD card, and you put that into the printer, and you turn your printer on. I was thinking about doing a video to explain the Jesus, alright, yeah, it's loud, but I was doing a video to explain how to set it up and how to get all of your programs running, but that's AIDS, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to hear me very well because of the printer, but hey, we'll see what happens. I got a mouse, by the way, but we'll just see what happens. Alright, there we go. That's how it should sound. So you press this, and you're going to want to go to, maybe you want to go to prepare, and move axis, and then you can move the Z. And if you don't know conversion, well, it's not even conversion. If you don't know the metric system, 10 millimeters is a centimeter. And it's a slow going thing. But as you can see, it's spinning. It's going up. It's just, ooh. I have no patience. Come on, please. Okay, it is now all the way up where it needs to be. Now you can go to move. Well, I have to heat it up. So from the menu screen, we'll go to the info screen. This is where you see everything. This is just the overall thing. This tells you the fan, this tells you the bed, and this tells you the nozzle temperature. This is the location of where everything is. That is the speed in which it is printing, and then this is your progress bar. So you can go to control, temperature, and then you can turn up the nozzle, the bed, the fan speed, and we're just gonna bump that up to 2. No, that's a bad idea. I'm gonna burn my house down from negligence. Oh, that's too low. Ah, I hate this. I wish you could just type it in. You can. Forget everything I'm saying. You can type in all of the settings, but this has nothing to do with what I've designed. So you set it your desired temperature. I personally like PLA at 2. I messed it up. Okay, so it is heating now, but I personally, I personally keep mine at 208 and 65, but we don't have to do the bed yet since it's not printing. And I keep the fan speed at 0 until it does a few layers, and then I honestly have no clue what all of that is, so we're not even going to get into that, because if I don't know it by now, it's probably not that important. So we're going to go to main, we're going to go to prepare, then we're going to move, also auto home. I'll show you that in a minute, if I remember, but move axis, and then you're going to move the extruder. It's too cold. Okay, so we gotta wait just a minute. Oh no! I really hope it's heating. Is it heating? Please be heating. Please get to the. Okay, yeah. So, while we wait on that, we'll get into this. So on here, it really doesn't matter what design software you use. This is Fusion, which my good friend, who I have to give credit, he has helped me so much. He is the one that gave me all of the advice and everything that I needed to get started. But he recommended Fusion 360, but I haven't done enough here to really understand what I'm doing. So we're not even gonna get, and it should be hot enough now, but ow. It should be hot enough now that we can do the thing that I was wanting to do. So we're gonna go to prepare, and then we're going to move axis, extruder, 10 millimeters. Wait, yeah, right, yeah. And then you can move it forward by the millimeter. So we're gonna do 5, and you can see if it'll focus, it's moving. It's just worming itself out. And that's, oh, it's so boring. It's such a boring process. All the setup is just, oh, it's so awful. this is what you get. You get a thin piece of plastic. Okay. So now that the extruder is fit, you can go backwards too. If you turn it to the left, then it'll suck it back up through there. And what moves it is this little thing here. That moves it. And so it'll just suck it right, focus. So it'll just suck it right up through that tube, and you can put it back in the spool, do whatever, you know, eat it. I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, I'm not liable for whatever you do in your time. We're gonna print from TF. Now, back to the thing that we were talking about. I designed the thing, I put it on the thing, and I put the thing in the thing, and now we're gonna print the thing. And I'm also going to get to show you some flaws that the user may make, which I didn't know that they were going to be this bad. So we're going to print there. Now, obviously, while this is heating up, I can explain. So, obviously, bed leveling is something that anybody would tell you is important. Bed leveling is the most important thing if you want to have a successful print. It is so unbelievably precise. It's so obviously, you know, you just slap the level on there, and if it's level, you know, you're good. You're good. You got nothing to worry about. That's what you think. That is what you think. That's what they tell you, but they're liars. So what really happens is you level the bed, and you think it's perfect. You're so proud of your leveling, and then it just doesn't work. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And nobody, I've asked so many people. There's like so many different problems that I never thought could be possible. In my rambling, I had to have a seat because I thought I was about to have an aneurysm. It's just talking about it, thinking about it. It gives me a headache. Oh, so we're gonna get back into it. It is still heating up. The bed takes so long to heat up. Now, like I said, this is for an impatient person. I'm impatient. If I want something done, I want it done as soon as possible, so that whatever it is can get finished and I can do other things. But not only is the setup very tedious, because you have to design the things, then you have to save it to files, which I had to completely learn how to do. I almost never use files, and I never really use the disks. And I kind of just had to learn myself how to design things. I just had to get in and play with it. You can't teach creativity. Anyway, the bed seems to be about heated up. And I've lost my train of thought at this point, so I'm just waiting for it to mess up so that I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's only been 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, it's heated up. So now we're going, oh man. Kill me. And as you can see, it lays a base layer. Now, right now, I've got if we go to the slicer, I've got, the ring is build plate adhesion. And I wasn't going to get into settings, but I guess we'll get into settings a little bit. Where is it? Build plate adhesion. Build plate adhesion. Now right now, I've got it set to brim, and then some numbers, you know how that works. But hey, who needs it, right? Like, what? Why? It's not that important. It can't be that important. So we're back here. It is laying the brim. I hope it does it correctly. If it did it correctly, I would have to take back everything I said about it being tedious and awful. Is it doing it perfect? The one time that I'm wanting it to mess up so that I can talk about how tedious and awful it is, it just does it right? What is this? It's disappointing. It's just disappointing. Oh, it's so... The one time that I wanted it to mess up, it does things right. Why does it have to do the things that I want it to do? It's... Anyway, leveling the build plate, which I don't think I finished talking about, is important. It's important. We're gonna turn that light on because that shadow won't be as visible. So build plate, leveling the build plate is very important, because if you don't level the build plate perfectly, then it'll be just a little bit off, and either the nozzle will scrape the build plate, or the nozzle will be just a little bit too high and it'll kind of noodle out of the nozzle and just onto the bed, and it won't stick. And you don't want that at all, because from experience I've had that happen many times, and it was not fun, because I get angry very easily. I have very little patience. I should probably see somebody about that. Nah, it will be fine. I got my printing, and I've got, you know, as you can see, this is what I was talking about. This is the thing that I was kind of hoping that would happen, but was hoping wouldn't happen. It's very low quality, and I have been working to fix that for some time. What I assume it is, and what I really hope it is, which is a somewhat easy fix, is the nozzle can jam. And what happens is the material that it uses can go into the tube and into the heating element, and the heating element will heat it, and then it'll push it out, and it'll just kind of, it'll build up like a fatberg in the heating element and in the nozzle, and then eventually, like, okay, I can't even organize my thoughts. I think I'm just that insane at this point in life. What I'm trying to say is that it's like if you were to... I'm trying to think of a good comparison. It's like if you were to have a tiny hole and a bigger piece of Play-Doh, and you were trying to push that Play-Doh through the tiny hole. However, some of the Play-Doh has dried in the tiny hole, making that tiny hole even tinier. So the Play-Doh doesn't push through like it's supposed to, and it goes out slower. And because it's slower, it's not extruding at the speed that it should, so it's just placing little dribbits of the PLA and then stretching it. So that's why it's so thin in most places. What that is, it's putting a daub and then stretching it just a thin line, and then putting another daub, and it's doing that over and over and over, and it makes it really weak. And I've had that happen maybe 6 times so far. Every single time that I've tried to make one, I made one successfully, but it was too small because people had to complain about it. I hope they don't see this. I'm kidding. I love you all. But the people had to kind of complain about it being too small. And before that, I had that one made by my friend that I was talking about, and I tried to make one, and it came out a little something like this. Now this is not what, that's not what we're looking for here. It's just not. That's not. What I'm trying to say is, I'm bad at designing. So, let's get back to the printer itself. Obviously, this one is awful. So we're just going to press the button, and we're going to go to stop print, and it's going to abort the print. And you can see now just, don't go back. You can see just how awful it is, up close in 4K. There we go. Yeah, look how terrible that is. If it'll focus, then you can see. Oh, ew. As you can see, it broke in my hand. That's how brittle it is, but it's just, yeah, it falls apart. like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk over here, and there's the solution for that. I'm not trying to tell you that you shouldn't get a printer, but it is not for people with high blood. You need to have patience when dealing with 3D printing. And I wish I would have known just how difficult it was going to be. I wish I had known, but I didn't. But hey, sometimes in life you just have to learn things the hard way. And that's okay. That you learn from failures. And I've had many failures when it comes to this printer. It's such a beautiful headache that I hate and love at the same time. Much like real love, like it annoys me to the point where I just want to take it apart and throw it away. But hey, if it can get me views on YouTube. I know this video has just been me complaining, but I encourage you to go get a 3D printer if you can, if you want to. I'm not trying to make anybody. Go get a 3D printer. It's just a lot of fun to use. And I've even, I've made a lot of stuff for different people. I made some dart holders for my father. I made some stuff for friends. It's limitless. Not limitless. There are limitations, but you can do a lot. You can do a lot of stuff. So I encourage you to get one, if you can and if you want to, because they are neat. So I know that this video is probably very all over the place, and it was hard to understand everything that I was saying. So if anybody who even watches these videos, I don't know, but if anybody who might potentially watch these videos wants to see more about 3D printing or about each step of the process individually, I can go a little slower and I can separate all of the steps and talk about them individually to help people have a better understanding. And the only problem with that is that I don't know how to do things. So I'll have to learn too. How fun, we're both learning together. Anyway, I'm gonna go so that, I'm awkward, you see. But if you like the video, subscribe, press the like button. And if you want to see more, please suggest it, or it might not happen. I might do it anyway. I might get bored one day and just kind of